In today's lesson, we are going to look at probability as a fraction. Saka, we are going to be looking at how we actually calculate probabilities. So this is just going to be a reminder, but if you remember yesterday, we defined probability as a measure of the likelihood of an event required outcome. That is what we are referring to. Saka tine an outcome which we want, which we require, we call that an event. A measure of the likelihood of that happening, no probability. And it. Saka probability is usually given as a fraction. Saka probability in mathematical terms, it's equal to number of required outcomes. So number of required outcomes, and I want you to underline the term required. I'm going to explain why it's very important. So number of required outcomes over what? Number of all possible outcomes. Number of all possible outcomes. Saka tiri kudifferentiate between what we refer to as a required outcome. Then we have all possible outcomes. Saka, let me box this. It's a very important mathematical relationship which you should know. Saka, of course, munotenderwa kuzvirangarira makazvishortena kungoti probability is equal to required outcomes over all possible outcomes. Kana ngoti over possible outcomes. You can write it like that. So I want us to go back to example yatakaita nezuro patakati the probability of rain in Gwanda September is equal to 9 over 16. Saka 9 unoyu ari kurepresenta the required outcomes because tiri kutsvaka probability ye rain. Saka 9 ari kurepresenta times it rain. Because mukarangarira the table of values which I gave, September akanaya in that 12-year period there were 9. But 16 imaji akuchirepresenta all the years. Saka it's not 16, it's a mistake. From our yesterday lesson, the lesson before this, it's actually 12. Saka 9 iri kurepresenta what we require. Tiri kutsvaga nguva times it is going to rain. How many times is it going to rain in 12 years? 9 times required outcomes. Then the possible outcomes are all the 12 years. Can out the 12 Septembers. Are you catching the drift? Saka, in example 1, the required outcomes were chi. Let us also go back to example 1. In example 1, the required outcomes were female children, and the possible outcomes were both male and female children, the example which we did in our previous lesson. Thus, the probability of having a female child was equal to the number of female children, because that is what is required, over the number of all children, both male and female, because that is the total. To then get 0.6 as we did. If we are completely sure that something will happen, the probability is 1. Saka, this is also revision. We wrote it in our notes yesterday. Saka takati probability iri bound between 0 and 1. Takati 1 inoreva kuti an event is certainly going to happen. saka if the probability is 1 we are completely sure. Tinogona kubvunza kuti what is the probability yekuti mangwana zuva richabuda, and imi munogona kuti it's 1 because obviously zuva rinobuda, but the most accurate answer in science it's almost 1 and maybe it's 0.99 because kachance kekuti ribude karipo, and rogona mukara kafa because our sun is dying. Rokupaona koreka mukara kadzima kokukaita an eclipse, Jupiter eclipse ameno yekuti rakatofarwa zvachose etc. Saka if you are completely sure the probability is 1. For example, if today is Tuesday, the probability that tomorrow is Wednesday is 1. Yeah, the probability that tomorrow is Wednesday is 1. But what we cannot be sure of is mangwana achauya. What if everything ends today? But probability, saka ndinoti muunderstand philosophical difference iri panapa. Probability yekuti mangwana it's Friday ndi 1 because it is always the case kuti tinoti Thursday then Friday, but probability yekuti mangwana achauya ndiyo iri almost 1 nekuti we can never be completely certain kuti it's 1. Saka we can have things we assign the probability of 1, but zvinhu zviri practical kazhinji we do not assign the probability of 1. That is science for you. Are you catching it? If we are sure that something cannot happen, chinhu hachifi chakaitika, it's also going to be assigned a probability of 0. Saka we can be sure of certain things, like we are sure tomorrow is not Monday. The probability of tomorrow being Monday, it's 0. But these are facts. Saka zvinhu zviri fact based kazhinji kacho ndo zvinoenda kuma extremes kwe probability, but zvinhu zviri practical kazhinji kacho hazviendi kuma extremes kwe probability. Ndo ka philosophical difference karipo. We can give an example. The probability of rolling a 7 on a dice is 0 because kana mchiziva kadai kakadai so kaya kakaita kabox kanenge kaine madots kuside kunoko kuna 1 ne1 dot, pasi poita 2, kunoko koita 3 4 etc. But madots acho ese the maximum is 6. Saka tikatora chidice you cannot roll 7 because hapana 7, the probability is 0. If the probability of something happening is x, then the probability of it not happening is 1 minus x. This is now important. Listen. Saka subtopic yedu panapa togona kuti complement probabilities. Cannot complementary probabilities. Saka noti yatoda kunyora panapa ndeyekuti if the probability of something happening is x, saka tiri kuti the probability of ngatiti something yacho ndi reka ndishandise different letter ndi a, the probability of a is equal to x, then the probability of it not happening is 1 minus x. So the probability of not a yatinogona kunyora takati the probability of a complement toisa kakaita ka small ndingati superscript kanaka is going to be equal to 1 subtract x. It's going to be equal to 1 subtract x. Saka kana probability ya a kuti atike ari x, zoroti probability yekuti a asaitike ndi 1 minus x. Nemaka a, because the maximum probability we can get is always 1. The maximum probability we can get is always 1. I can give you an example from our examples yesterday. Patakati, the probability, so this is an example, the probability of it to rain, takati it's equal to 3/4. Saka the probability of it not to rain inenge iri equal to 1 subtracting probability yekuti kunaye. Saka this is equal to 1 subtracting probability yekunaya, that's 3/4. Tinogona convert 1 into 4/4 minus 3/4, making our answer 1/4. Saka the moment you are given a probability of something, munofanirwa kutoziva the probability of not that thing. It's just 1 minus the probability of something. Are you understanding? Okay. We are going to go through 3 examples. 3 or 2 examples, but 3. Saka question yedu iri kuti, it is known that out of every 1,000 new cars, 50 develop a mechanical fault in the first 3 months. What is the probability of buying a car that will develop a mechanical fault within 3 months? Saka probability yekuti pave ne mechanical fault in 3 months inenge iri equal to chi? Inenge iri equal to, remember that required outcomes over possible outcomes. Saka chatiri kutaura panapa ndechekuti kana tichiti required outcome, tiri kureva zvatanyora mukati memabrackets umu, zvatiri kuda, this is what is required. Saka what is required? We require mota dzinoita a mechanical fault in 3 months. Takaverenga question yedu iri kuti, it is known that out of every 1,000 new cars, 50 develop a mechanical fault in 3 months. Saka can you see that the required outcome is going to be equal to 50 over. But ma possible outcomes arungotaura mota dzese dzatiri kutarisa in this sample population ingani. Tatoudzwa kuti for every 1,000 new cars. Saka it's 50 over 1,000, which we do like this. 5 into 5, 1 into 10, 2, 0, like this. Saka our answer is going to be equal to 1/20. Zvatopera. Any questions? Did you understand like how we got to our answer? Let's go to the next one. Before we go to the next one, ndoda kuti ma understand kuti dei question yedu yanga yati, what is the probability of buying a car that will not develop a mechanical fault within 3 months? Saka probability of not mechanical fault inenge iri equal to, panapa zvamunoita munogona ngoti it's just equal to 1 subtracting probability of mechanical fault, which is 1/20. Correct answer yenyu inenge iri 19/20. Kana kuti munogona kuiweka in this way, kana tati not mechanical fault, what do we require? We require mota dzisingafe within the first 3 months. Saka kana question yatiudza kuti 50 mota dzinofa, zvinoreva izvo kuti this is 1,000. Saka zvinoreva kuti 1,000 subtracting 50, 950 mota hadzife. Mapabata. saka inenge ya 950 dividing 1000 munowana futi 19/20. Saka ndonzira mbiri dzacho kuri kuti question yange yati not. Saka the word not is very important. It determines what you are going to do. Are you catching? Any questions before we proceed? Another question iri kuti, a market trader has 100 oranges for sale and 4 of them are bad. What is the probability that an orange chosen at random is good? Saka taudzwa kuti mogona kutonyora total number kana kuti ngatinyore in probability speak. Munogona kutoti all possible outcomes because makutoziva all possible outcomes inenge iri equal to 100 oranges because ndo total. Saka all possible outcomes ringoreva kuti total. Then panapa taudzwa kuti 4 of them are bad. Saka bad oranges are equal to 4. Ndiri seni zvangu nchiziva kuti probability ndobva ndatotsvaga probability of bad oranges. Ndotoona kuti probability of bad oranges is equal to required outcome. Maorange ari bad 4 asi maorange ese ari musaga 100. Saka kana zvakunzi panapa question yati what is the probability that an orange chosen at random is good. Saka kuti random zvoreva kuti kungoisa ruoko musaga motongobuditsa orange and hamusi kutarisa. Saka panapa vazoelaborate kuti random means without careful choosing. Saka kana mukangoita dip your hand musaga mobva mabuditsa orange, what do you get? Muri kuzviona here kuti panapa pari kubvunzwa probability of not bad orange, not bad oranges. And andabasa nechirungu panapa handisi kuti oranges which are not bad, no, ndiri kuti not bad oranges because in mathematical language kuti not zvoreva kuti complement of. Saka ndokuda kumbopoza ndobvunza kuti mabata here kuti question yedu tinoiansa nekuti probability of not bad oranges. Saka question yedu yatipa the total number of oranges musaga ikatiudza kuti 4 oranges are bad. Saka question yedu kuti what is the probability that an orange chosen at random is good. Saka varoda titsvage probability of a good orange. But from the question we managed to see kuti tapiwa this total of 100 oranges, takapiwa 4 bad oranges. Saka probability of a bad orange it's 4 maorange akashata of 100 total yemaorange ese. Mapabata era ndisandatsanangura kuenda kumberi. But kana question ichida kuti titsvage probability of good oranges, iko kuti good orange munonzwisisa here kuti zvakafanana nekuti not bad orange. Saka kana takutsvaka the probability of not bad oranges tenge takuti 1 subtracting probability of bad oranges 4 over 100. Saka anza yatinowana ndi 96 of 100. Yes, munotenderwa kuireduce to lowest number, it's okay, but kana pari pano kutongodai so inenge iri easy yangoona kuti 0.96. And panapa 1 you remember tenge tamuconverta to 100 of 100 kuti azotipa that. Saka this will be the final answer. Saka umwe angachigona kuianswer in this way. Umwe angachigona kuti probability of good oranges is equal to ona kuti question yatipa bad oranges. Saka kana mabad oranges ari 4 zvinoreva kuti magood oranges anenge ari equal to total yemaorange subtracting 4 akashata kuti pa 96. Tiritese. Saka tikatarisa mukati mebracket mune the required outcome magood orange mangani i96. Saka pana penenge iri 96 over total of 100. Mukacherechedza munoona kuti zvafanana. Saka munoshandisa any method yamunoda, but method yekutanga ndinoifarira because iri natural, it follows each other until masvika kuansa. Any more questions? Regai ndidzokere kwatabva tinzwe pfungwa dzenyu. Okay, ngatidai so mareducer panapa 4 into 4 ndi 1, 4 into 10 4, 8 ndi 2, 8 9 10, 4 into 20 ndi 5, saka answer yenyu inenge iri 1/25. Okay, saka kuno uku manje inenge yava 1 minus chi 1/25, which is 25/25 minus 1/25 inotipa 24/25. 24/25 yakafanana nekuti 96/100. Yeah, because tikaisa 4 into 9 ndi 2, remainder 1 into 16 ndi 4, 4 into 100 ndi 25, saka inoita 24/25. Example 4 iri kuti city school enters candidates for the general paper GCE. The results for the years 1988 to 1992 are given in the table below 26.6. Saka tapiwa gore, number of candidates, number gaining GCE passes. A iri kuti find the school's success rate as a percentage. We want to find the school's success rate as a percentage. Saka how do we find the school's success rate as a percentage? Satikatarisa panapa, the number of candidates totapiwa this row, number gaining GCE passes. Saka zviri kunzi pa 86 students 51 ndo vakapasa mugore ra1988, pa 117 students 65 ndo vakapasa mugore ra1991. Isusu tiri kuda the school's success rate kubva mugore ra1988 kusvikira 1996. Saka kuti tianze question iyi, this is question inoanswa nemaverage, tichati total number of passes. What is the total number of passes? Saka toenda kune vese vakapasa 88 55 89 56 90 57 91 65 and 92 70. Saka tikaeda zvese izvi namba yatinowana i299 ndo vakapasa, but takuda futi kuziva total number of candidates. Total number of candidates kureva kuti vese vakadi vakanyora muna 88 vaiva 86 tozoti plus 93 plus 102 plus 117 plus 116, total yedu it's 514. Saka kana takuda kuchiziva success rate inenge ingori equal to, because titsvaga success rate, saka iri equal to vakapasa over mastudents ese, like this. Is it making sense? A question yava yakati maybe fail rate, apa yatova imwe question, fail rate. Tanga tichazoti vakafoira tinovawana sei? Tinotora munhu wese akanyora subtracting vakapasa ndokuti tiwane namba yevakafoira over munhu wese. Zvoti mukazvitarisisa muchaona kuti inenge ingori 1 minus 299 over 514 in principle. Mupabata saka ndozvazvakaita. Okay, ngatichi answer B yedu. Saka B iri kuti kudeni? B iri kuti what is the approximate probability of a student at city school getting a pass? Saka probability yekuti student ipase imbori chii? Mapabata. Saka isitozva kuti probability for a pass iri equal to required outcome over possible outcomes. Then it's also important to note kuti kana chiti required outcomes tikureva students who passed, munogona kubva mazoita contextualize your formula. Ndo iri required students who passed over all candidates. Saka ma-students akapasa tamacalculator taona kuti sum yacho 299, ma-students ese 514, saka tikwana the same answer. Kweseni yanga ichingoda kukuratidzai kuti vanogona kufunza the same thing differently. Mabvunziro avaita pekutanga munoanza muchishandisa ma-average. Mabvunziro avaita panapa munoanza muchishandisa probability. Chiri kutsvagwa panapa nebhuku ndichekungokuratidzai kuti a probability is actually an average. A probability, measure of likelihood, it's an average. At heart, it is an average. Okay. Saka, this is the work we were supposed to do today. Tapedza lesson redu.